Nolly.
And this is Lee.
And you're watching Burn Tea.
Hey, it's your girl Kyla, and you're watching Real Talk Live.
You can hear just saying hi. You're watching Real Talk Live.
It's Candy Barbara, and you're watching Real Talk Extra. Just familiar here. So love to Burn Tea, and you are watching Real Talk Live.
Hi everyone, my name is Kahea and you're watching Real Talk Live.
Hey, this is Abby from England and you're watching Real Talk Live.
Yes, good evening, good night. We inside Real Talk Live. So Abby, what do you think about this topic tonight? The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
A nice sexy topic. Me like.
Yes,
I
you know.
like.
Yes. We've heard it many times. But we really need the guys to come on tonight to really let us know if this saying is true. Now, you know, sometimes we use a lot of slangs and all these things and we don't know what it really means, eh?
Yeah.
We really don't know. So, Abby, where did you first hear this? The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
I heard it from a musical called Hairspray. And they had a song about it, and I was like, what does he mean? And then it clicked. So I was like, he's right. Yeah.
And what did he mean? I can't remember even hearing it in Hairspray. I watched it maybe once, but I can't remember hearing it then. But in the musical, what was the meaning behind this statement?
It was an interracial kind of love going on.
Right.
You know, back in the era where segregation was about to come together, but not yet. Yeah, so he was just expressing his love to this girl, saying, you know,
Right.
So he was singing to her about, you know, blackberry sweeter the juice, and it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah. That's
No,
when I first heard it.
that was when you first said it. Now, I asked you that, but I am really trying to remember myself. When did I first hear it? Because I've heard it just like somewhere. I can't even remember where, but I've heard it, you know, more than once. I definitely don't think it's Hairspray. No, it actually has a book called The Blacker the Berry, The Life of a Negro by Wallace Tillman. I just found, I said, you know, let me look up and see, you know, what this term, you know, where it came out from. Right. Now Tupac, it's in one of his songs just at the start of it. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Then it goes on to say the darker the skin, the deeper the roots. That's how it started off.
Ooh. I can't recall that song, but okay.
Well, I hi Candace.
Hi, Candace.
It's been a while. So I really went looking to see, okay, so the book, I say, I need to find this book now to read it. Like, I really do need to, because it was like based, of course, because we know it had colorism back then. So the book is on colorism, and I can't remember. I started to do some background check on it now. So of course, a very dark-skinned girl went to college, and she is facing colorism because we know that that's a real thing, right?
It is. Yes.
I mean, we had the topic of red woman syndrome before, so now we are having the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Yeah. So colorism is a real. It is a real thing. Sometimes we play it off. Some persons, I mean, it may not bother them. Some focus on the racism, but besides racism, we know we have colorism to deal with.
And I think it's more pronounced in our Black culture. Am I
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It definitely is because I mean, growing up with even a darker complexion, the names that people are called when it says they are black, black. You'll hear
Yeah.
like Black Attack, you like Kobo, all these different things, you'll hear. I don't know, that is what I used to hear. And like nobody never called me that, but I will hear other persons being called like Black Attack. Some might be Black Boy. Good night,
Right,
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah. So, Andy, tell us what the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice means to you. So, I mean, it have so many different angles because in real like terms is that if it is a berry, it's darker. It means that it's much riper and definitely it is
That's
sweeter.
sweet.
Yes, like a real berry, the fruit berry.
So,
But of
Lion,
course, we
you
This
consider
this
yourself a
topic,
blackberry?
I wonder who come up with this topic, boy. Or let's have
I
some.
don't
Be not me, be not
hmm,
me. I'm behaving. I'm on my best behavior.
uh, when I hear not me, you know who it is.
All
Alright.
right. All
So
right.
the darker, the blacker, the berry. These are interesting.
It is. When I heard
Very
it, I was
good.
like, oh.
So, ladies and gents, because the darker the berry could be male or female, so we can keep it balanced in how the thing go. Right? Ladies and males, is the dark chocolate sweeter than the white chocolate? is the dark
Hey.
is the dark
Uh,
berry
we
like the
we
rat?
using the
What
we
berry that?
using the black. We using black.
Blackberries, the black currant. Woo! Andy, you gotta let me know. Guys, let me know. Ladies, I
You
know the
know
ladies
something?
taste. I know the ladies taste a little difference in the berry too, so the ladies you could weigh in as well. Yeah? As we moving forward, Chica
I
say
don't know about that. Sorry.
I
hey
don't
man.
know.
So Abby, why
But
you
you
didn't?
know, I recently spoke to a friend of mine and we were reminiscing about the past. And I was reminding her about our altercation that we had with a guy where he was trying to chat us up as in let's see who he could get between us. But knowing as she more light skinned than I am, she was
Mm-hmm.
more encouraging and giving him more attention where I wasn't too in mind. And
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't getting that energy off of me, he said, that's why I like my granulated sugar. I can't deal with brown sugar.
Oh.
So I was like,
Okay.
yeah, I say granulated sugar have a lot of chemicals, be careful. It kind of
That is
remind me of
true.
this topic,
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true.
yeah, he
That's
like
true.
granulated than brown sugar. Like, okay.
So, is your friend African as well? African descent or
She's mixed race. She have her
mixed?
heritage
Okay.
is Irish. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And that could
So if you
explain.
can
And I
pass
mean,
as, yeah, she can pass as, but due to her roots is
yeah,
black. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. When we talking about, the blacker, the berry. So that's why I was talking about Tupac. The darker
Yeah.
the skin, the deeper the roots, meaning that, you're closer to. But it's just that, biology again, whatever, your genes decide to, your DNA decide to express. Yeah?
Right.
And that is just basically it. That is what it is. Lion asked a question there just now about ladies. Is it true? I can't answer that. I only taste one thing. So I can't I taste one berry, so I didn't sample no set of samples,
Yeah, so Abby,
What's
you
that?
know, Abby, I think it was when you're laying out the ethnicity and the skin of these mates, who coming up on your radar as sweet or sweetest? So when I place in the comment section, let me hear what my boys saying. Yeah. They hear the guys. I want to hear the guys. So let's tell me, red woman or dark skin. I know only gonna get licked.
And they say, I think it's all in the energy of the person.
Andy, know you're taking a cup out. Andy, come on. Come on, Andy. Come on. Come on. Come on, Andy. No, this is what I would say. Everybody have preferences, but what I would say is that, guys who have past to a little 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, right? You must have a vibe that's saying, hey, this kind of woman is really have a, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, fellas, all you come with it. Tell us, ladies, Abby, I still waiting on Abby.
What were you waiting on me for?
I waited on
So
Abby.
here, if it is the darker man was sweeter than the lighter skinned man.
Oh my God.
Remember here?
Times, man.
Papa,
What?
what is this? I find only
This is good idea.
you have to fix your thing. Let me bring you on this live. I need to on this live to tell Abby these things in words so I can see the reaction. I want a little antagonist. I need we have to bring you on, boy. So the topic for tonight, Chica, I want to deal with them. Jizan, if you could hear me, the dark and the berry, the sweet and the juice will come in the mail. Talk to me. Hey, she up there. Yeah, is that Genie?
Good night, Susan.
Tell me. The dark and the berry, the sweet and the juice. Abby, you still the answer, eh? You don't want to expect the guy to answer.
The sweeter. I want diabetes, not figuratively, but you know.
Oh. So guys, let me hear it, eh?
And the thing about it is, when I think about like white chocolate versus dark chocolate, right? The dark chocolate is,
That's what it is, but TV.
yeah, it is rich. The dark chocolate, is rich. It have a different taste, So that's why some people like black, like coffee. You understand? Some people wanted just black coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Americano style.
Yeah.
I'm not too keen on black coffee, so yeah.
I know. Some people just like to see their coffee black, You know that black coffee isn't sweet, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to the berries, so like even grapes, those dark, black grapes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
When
It's
when it bites into that. Yes. And then when I think about the green grapes, they don't really have that, sweetness.
It's
So
really
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So ladies, gents, everybody on the live, what does this statement mean to you? Where have you heard it? Because as I say, we hear things, we use phrases, we use slangs, and sometimes you don't have a clue of the origin of it or what it even means. And they might even use it out of context as well. So, it is important to know when we saying something now, some person, they was saying that this statement really referred to a berry, the fruit berry. But of course, over time, somewhere along the way, it has been sexualized, really and truly. I mean, because Abby, when you saw it, was like, ooh, hot topic, right? You definitely wasn't thinking about the fruit, you know what I mean? You didn't think about the fruit. Automatically, because of what we've heard, whenever, wherever we heard it, we know they were, and most of the time they actually I never really heard any females use it referring to a male, right? You hear it. I hear it more the other way around with men using it for the woman. For sure. That's how I've heard it. And it's only the guys who can really and truly say, all those who, out there, out and about, they will be able to say,
Yes,
what was the difference.
I heard different cultures say that. Not exactly like that, but they say stuff like that. They rather the dark milk chocolate or they like the coffee black and them kind of stuff. More males would use that than women.
Right. Yeah.
What's it with Andy and
So I don't know what happened to you. What happened to Andy and your nose? He said, "Big brother, them ladies will never answer that question because it's all in the black man, all over." Good evening, Sonali.
Try you.
But Andy, we just answered. Right, as I said, I never had no set of samples. You understand? So I cannot speak for all this variety. If it comes to like grapes or something, the fruit, I could speak about that. But I cannot speak for. But based on based on what I've heard, people do say they like the darkies. It have ladies who will say, "Yeah, I want them real black, like real black."
Yes.
Now we know it have so many different shades of the dark, right? I mean, it could come in. It have like that could almost look like midnight. Like some persons in like real dark. You could yeah.
I saw a picture recently on Facebook, I think. I don't know if there's a couple, I don't know if there's family, but color of their skin was so dark. It glowed. It was, yes, they're dark, but I was more amazed at the glowing skin and the texture.
Yeah.
Oh, it looked
and
really
smooth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just consider myself black, so yeah.
Yeah, they're really smooth. Yeah.
It's lovely. It is lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my preference back then wasn't set in stone. But I think now if I have to, I would go that way,
Yeah.
I
mean, everybody really have their preferences for whatever reason. And they spoke about the person's, energy. So sometimes they might find the person who is darker skin have more energy because we've seen a lot of mixing these days, right? So, So, Snally, the inside now. So, where have you first heard the sweeter, the darker the berry, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice? When was the first time you heard that saying?
As a child in the movies.
In the movies.
In some movie, as a child, I heard that.
Maybe it's the hairspray that Abby was talking about, because Abby remembers specifically the guy singing it in hairspray.
Yeah.
It wasn't hairspray. Okay, so
most
Abby
likely
have another movie.
Some black comedy movie, but not hairspray.
Not hairspray. Right. Hi, Vanessa. It's been a while, girl. It's been a while. I've seen people popping out. So Candace, V. So Vanessa, remember from Hairspray.
Hairspray, yeah. Yeah, I love that movie.
And you know something, Sonali, maybe they were using Tupac song right inside of whatever black movie you were watching. It's a very high possibility. Because Abby, it wasn't Tupac.
Nah, it was in a joke, and the guy was saying it to a girl and her friends and like a whole group of friends. They were saying it there, and I was like, okay, cool. And then from there, of course, growing up, you hear it constantly and so forth. But I know for sure the first time I heard it because I actually had to ask, like, okay, what he
What
mean
it
by
meant.
like, not to say so much, I understood from that age exactly the sexual terms of it, but like, what you mean like darker the juice, like, you know, and the little in between, you still had to ask like, what juice he talking about?
What did you
You know what juice now there? So Andy, did Andy tell us what does he prefer? Is it the dark or the berry? Andy, you need to tell the ladies, Abby needs to know if her shade matches the vibration. Because I realize Andy is secretly a
Andy.
secret admirer. Well, you don't secret admirer. He just coming out right and rushing
It's
Abby
not
now.
secret anymore.
It's not a secret anymore. The secret's out.
I know Lil Sis is really about a berry, but as time went by, people started adding sex to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was about the fruit berry, but of course, we always have to add, you know, make people things to eat. We are always edible, whether it be chocolate, ice
Oh, we
cream.
edible now. It's an edible thing.
Yes.
So I think
Edible.
Chica made reference to a song that Tupac made, right? So we should have had that music video to play. So people don't understand. Around that
Yeah, would not
era,
want the music video.
yeah, quite rude. But around that era, if all who followed Tupac and Biggie in them days, right? It was around the time now coming out of the Black Power movement when they were singing Fight Power. They come from that ilk. And what happened is that the interviews around the song, they were trying to say that Tupac was kind of sexualizing the African woman. So, you know, the press was kind of giving the song bad press. So they asked him,
But you know, Lion, that particular song that he used, it wasn't even sexual, you know. It was actually kind of sort of uplifting. Yeah.
What I was trying to say is that they was trying to give him bad press. And what he explained when he was interviewed is that he trying to lift the black woman up. Because at that point in time, you know, women were not being, the black woman wasn't really getting her fair share of love. Right? What he said was some of the rappers, the popular rappers, were putting the white girls more in the videos. And so to him, that's why people like Tupac, because everything he did had some kind of like these rappers now.
But don't they still do?
You know what I mean? So that is what it really was. Trying to skillfully put back some kind of worth in black women. And then what white press was doing was saying that black rappers degrading black women. So that was the bad press. Right? So he tried now to add back that, hey, look, we bigging up black women and we're not having them like skanks on the music video and all that kind of thing. So that was the vibration. Andy.
Okay.
Ladies, black and berry, dark and berry, it's sweet.
I will drop the link in the comment section after. So you can
So it was that kind of black woman. And when we say black woman, I don't think it's the shade. So even though we might consider the shade, we have a lot of shades. So it was really for all who consider themselves a black woman. It didn't matter if it was like Abby shade, you know, or a shade lighter, or a shade. It was more for the people who believe they were African women. You know what I mean? It was that's why they use the word darker or black. They try to use black instead of darker. You know, so that black women could have, you know, responded in a positive way to the music. Yeah? Because my shade might be different to Abby shade different to Chica shade different. You know what I mean? So that is what the vibration. Moving forward. Is it sweet, fellas?
I mean, yeah, we need to look for the book too, Abby. We need to look for the book.
Tell me the very sweet, fellas. Abby, Salali.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so much from this. Yeah. The blacker The berry. We need to look for the book. I definitely going to look for it and read it.
I think I would look for the book. But did that term come around? Well, I mean, from what I've understand watching it, I think to me is like telling the other nations nothing wrong with having a nice little blackberry because you know the juice is sweet. I haven't heard it in a term where we using it within our own culture, you know, because due to we having different shades, you know, a lighter person like me or I ain't that light would go for somebody, you know, like proper dark chocolate. You know what I mean? It is not used within our own culture due to the different shades that we have. It more other races out there uses it towards us, which I find a bit.
Well, they would use it, but I don't think they would actually mostly say berry. You'll hear other terminologies and so forth.
Yeah.
You'll hear like the different, you'll call the percentages of chocolate, like whether it's milk chocolate, caramel, and all of that. You'll hear coffee.
And like black and them kind of stuff.
Yeah, you'll hear.
Yeah.
But very few I've ever heard our own kind say berry. I've heard all sorts of things. But berry.
Berry
is like, I was saying, I don't even think I ever really heard those on the outside say berry either too. Like some of them, like
I think over time. Do you think over time that had changed?
In what context they should say?
Okay, so let us say maybe in the early 90s, 1900s, you know, they would have referred to berry because that time I know a lot of berries were planted and it's berries and cherries and all these different things. But over time, you hear more coffee and chocolates. You know, the production, as I say, we always referring to things edible or drinkable when we... So just as culture and, you know, the time shifting.
And then we had to fix that phone and had to bring Andy on this live.
I guess so. I guess it kind of changed because, let me see, when it was my great-grandmother, it had times my great-grandmother was referring to a guy, and she and her sisters, well, most of them dead. Long live dead. Yeah. Not Granny. Her aunts and them, they were referring to a certain guy and they were using the terminology as plantain. They were using plantain. Right. So, you know, of course, plantain will have different shades from how you fry it or how you bake it. They use plantain and from since then, all of us will use plantain because that is what we were growing up.
You know what Granny was talking about?
It wasn't the dick, they was talking about the shades.
So Granny really think Granny was talking about tool?
No, they was not talking about the tool. They just use something else for the tool.
Oh, Jesus.
So what was it something else though?
Plantain in my book.
Plantain was your skin color.
Plantain?
Yes, cassava.
Yeah,
cassava was there too.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, because my great grandfather used to plant corn and cassava and all of that. So the type of corn you get, you know, like that, you know, or you like a little scrawny thing, or the cassava, or you know, they refer to it.
Granny, yeah.
And that is what we learn. Even my family who on the Dutch side as well, those who in Netherlands, they too will use plantain, but they use plantain for everything.
Oh, no.
Right.
So
and God forbid if they call you a sticky fish. God forbid if they call you a sticky fish.
So Dali, it's Real Talk Live and we discussing the dark and the berry. So I think when they're talking about the berry, I don't know was referring to the body part as well. You know, so I kind of in the context in which, you know, in the context of the berry part. You know the berry?
You don't know the chiquito? The sticky fig or the chiquito fig?
Yeah, Siki and Chiquito, them small so.
Small.
It's pigs. Anything named pig is not banana.
Remember when we had the live one that and Riri brought out a big, but she brought out a banana and she brought, yeah.
We had a big battle. Yeah, so only when coming to the berry, I think the connotation is for a particular scenario. You know what I mean? So when we talking about the berry part, So Andy, since it's the only man in life except your wife, tell us in your wine experience, tell us, what measures up in this dark berry or black berry scenario. Is the fruit, does it have a difference? Only place in the comment section for that. Now, let me tell you, so Ali doesn't have a difference, Abby doesn't really have a difference, or is it all up here? Let me know. Anything happen?
Oh. Are we not actually talking about the berry? No. Okay.
Yes, we are.
Yes, it have different. Yes, it have a different because I think cherry have a more tangy, where berry have a bit of sunny, but it is sweet. I mean, if you know what I mean. Cherries have a kind of tangy taste, where the berries have a kind of sunny taste.
Oh, you going according to taste? I thought it was going according to size. Sorry. My mind went to size.
Snap.
You were talking according to taste. Sorry.
I'm talking about the real now. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse the dirty mind.
But Abby, we are not talking about the real fruit here, right?
The forbidden fruit. The forbidden fruit, Abby. Forbidden fruit.
Yes, it has.
So is there a difference? Right.
Because it has some dark berry that is deformed due to lack of nutrition. You know what I mean? And there are some force ripe berries that seem.
So Abby, what happened to the good berries? The juicy berries?
Yeah.
I don't know. I had to look in the archive for that. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Abby.
All right, sorry. I like that.
Abby have too many bad experiences. I realize,
Yeah. To be honest, not breaching any peace treaties with the Hunters Association. I had a meeting and I was telling them I'm giving out too much of the game. So I take my back on the Hunters Association. But there is a difference. There is a difference in the taste, there's a difference in the smell, there's a difference in how it feels. I don't know when fellas say everything is the same way. I don't know, right? It's different, right? So I mean, it might be based upon their preference, and it still might not be based on the color purpose. So I think that the terminology was brought on to give again black women, that sense of words again. You're sweet. Yes, we know ladies, they're doing the degree and they're running businesses and these nice things. But in that particular aspect, I think that a moment in time in society, and I say my black women or my women because, that is who I affiliate myself with when coming to race, right? Although we are all one people, right? But there was a moment in time where black women were losing the words because, like in everything you see, like as it say in the music videos, in the movies, they started like stereotype black women, the behavior. You know what I mean? And it was coming like, the black ladies the stock value was taken a little dip. And media was kind of portraying it a certain way too. So I think it's a nice term to keep around because it gives black women that sense of worth in that aspect. So yes, we know the word different aspects, but for how men view our black women now, When you're talking to fellas now, with that fella saying they ain't going and date a black woman again, with that fellas outrightly saying that that is the last ethnic group that they're gonna date. And I hear plenty fellas, I don't know. I say, well, they had some real bad experiences, but I don't know, maybe I'm fortunate, you know. But talking to fellas over the year before that, is that fellas just say, nah, not me and them. So I asked, like, why? I like to do my research. So the dark and the berry people, we try to keep the vibes nice. If anybody join the live and they want to tell me if it's sweet, let me know. Right? So I think women empowerment as Mexi is, you know, we try to empower the women as well. So they say, you know, so I boil down the three things: attitude, respect, and I don't know what the next one because it's more active. When they hear what they're talking, it's maybe attitude and respect and with conflict resolution. So it had nothing to do with, I didn't hear nobody say nothing about sex, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Ladies are waiting on that for me. So I didn't hear no negative thing about the sex part. So like that and the very sweet, so it's sweet. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hear no bad rep with the sex. But I hear I mean, only waiting for me. Wait now, that and the very good. Right? She can't wait for better. They say now, attitude, conflict resolution, and the jump out like a strike and new just now. But they're waiting on it for me now.
So, ladies, how do you all know that the berry is good and also the figs? And I don't know about the berry.
And the like a drink about that one chakra. And the other night. Ladies, wait on that comment. What's all your view? Honestly.
What's the question again?
He's saying that men are saying that they don't want to have any relationship with black women because of their attitude, let's say lack of respect, and their inability to resolve conflict in a peaceful manner.
I think it's a generation thing of what women went through the generation. It's like it's a DNA to don't take shit. Whether we were brought up in it or not, it's just something that is within us. When the Asian culture, they are trained to respect their counterpart, you know, after they reach a certain age, that they have to be trained to give that utmost respect and to like bow and wait hand and foot. That is how they were taught. Where we, on the other hand, it's on our DNA, so we ain't gonna take no shit. Definitely not me, Andy. Right.
Andy? Sonali?
Yeah. Not only that we're trained, sometimes you see what the men saw from with their mom and all of that, or their grandmoms, especially, best way of it, especially when they had young mothers and young grandmothers, and you would see like the grandmother telling the mother, don't tolerate this, don't take this, or whatever, or something would happen with the guy's father, and the mother has a nasty attitude and mentality and so forth. And then you're backing that with whatever you see on media, because of course during that time the negative portrayal that you're seeing, that is what they're going to grow with, and then they will mistake it for women who are actually strong, who are resilient. They might come off rough and kind of mannish and huggish in a way, but it will be mistaken for nasty attitude, stink attitude, this and that. Yeah. And then, of course, if you mix it with those who do have nasty attitudes and stink ways and all of that, it is going to give an image for everybody. So, fellas will say, okay, this is the reason why I'm not going for the black woman. When you will see the Latinas and them were trained or they were brought up in a way like how Abby said, to serve and whatever. Or you see the same thing with Asian women, white women. You will see all the different ethnicities, even for home here with the Hindus and whatever. You'll see that different brought up and all of that until something happens and they strip that woman and you realize, oh, wait now, all women have an attitude. All women have this, all women have that. And then they want to come and ask, like, where did this come from? Like, you grew up among black people or something? No. So you could kind of understand for why men would say them things and so forth, but they have no problem at issue when it comes to this sex.
Yeah, I have an associate. Yeah, I have an associate and she's Indian.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hanging out in front of my house at one point where there are a lot of, she liked black guys, you know, so she would more hang out in my area where I have them. And it have this Trace guy, who she had her eyes on for a while, and due to alcohol or whatever, found the courage to heal him out. He come over and they were having a conversation. And he was just saying, nah, he don't like black girl, blah, blah. I don't know if he was saying to me. But anywho, after she to know each other, it had one day, whatever, the bacchanal ended up in front of my doorstep where her verbal attitude towards him was exactly how the media would portray a black woman. And I was surprised because I've never seen that.
Like she cussed him out.
Even he was surprised.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even use those words anymore. But
so that's why I say they will see something until they push, and another side of the person comes out, and then they'll be like,
"Oh my God!" So the very one's done. It tastes sweet, but it totally stomach. You see that digestion was the problem. I feel like the issue. I think it is digesting properly. Yeah. So Chica, tell me. I believe again, as I say, it's a nice context. I like the darker the berry, something it could stick around to give black women, that kind of feeling of, worth and pride and want, because women want to be wanted. You know what I mean? And maybe what they say.
I agree. Well said. That's true. Some men can't handle a strong woman.
What I would advise I would give to ladies who want to use these kind of words, you gotta be careful. Just as how women are like socially programmed, guys are socially programmed as well. So a regular average guy, he is more prone to want to help. Notice if a woman fall, if there's have guys around and a woman trip, automatically we will reach to help her. A woman coming out of her
Sorry, look like there's no man.
Laughing, but if it's good guys,
but Sonali, I is saying something different.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah, real men. Real men.
Thank you. Real men, thank you.
Men do. Right? So what I'm saying is that guys are around, right? And let's say good-looking ladies are around. So let me get good berries are around, dark berries, juicy berries, right? And a lady trip, fellas will automatically, hey, you okay? We have this program that we had to come to our rescue. Now, this is how boys were trained. When ladies, let me help you with the bag now. You're coming out the grocery, holding your bag good, eh? You're holding your bag good, you're straining. So, Smalley, you need help with your bag, so what? We are conditioned. And what advice I would give, I'm not telling any woman not to be strong. What advice I would give to women is that if you're so strong that you need no help, you ain't gonna get on. I used to always have that cartoon
this
long.
day
You
and
used to do that often, Miss Piggy with Kermit. Kermit never paid Miss Piggy no mind. Think about it, right? Miss Piggy will, yeah, what she go do? She go trip and cry. And Kermit go come. Miss Piggy, are you alright? No, Kermit. No. No. No, it is exactly what
No, it is. No, it is. It's true.
When Miss Piggy gets strong, you know Miss Piggy have a strong attitude too, right? When Miss Piggy gets strong, automatically Kermit just get to know. The only time Kermit just give Miss Piggy the time of day is when she in trouble. And now people don't know. I, on the other hand, like.
Well, I know what to say, but that is.
I'm saying that guys, I say normal guys are conditioned to help women, you know. Help your mother, help your sister. I ain't just talking about somebody you want a relationship with. Females on a whole, help your auntie. The auntie come with the grocery, help she now. Look, your sister. We are programmed and conditioned to help women.
Still have a little man inside of me too, though.
Yeah, you understand? So, ladies, strength and resilience is two different things. Right? It is good that you show resilience, but don't come too strong. I just give you advice. You can do your own in this world. Because men normally would find out. But you know how much fellas come and tell and boy, she ain't need me. And women don't take that cue. They say, baby, I want you. Men don't care if you want them.
They want you to need them.
Men do not, so all who listen to live and whoever understand this, understand how we are conditioned. A man don't really care if you want them. You could a real case say, I want you to right? Men care when you need them because we conditioned to know, hey, if you need it, you gotta be there. You gotta be the man. That's the conditioning. So ladies, I just getting on there. Remember I signed a peace treaty with the Hunters Association because I get on too much of the vibration. Right? So be resilient. But remember, we just want to feel needed. And 90% of fellas going outside and just looking for somebody else because they're not feeling needed with it. I just being real. It has nothing to do with because it has nothing to do with this girl sexier and this berry sweeter and this girl hotter and it's not enough. It's because I ain't needed. You ain't need me. You have and women, our black women, that is where we fall short. Because we like to profess that we don't need no man. Touch and go. It's your boy. That's reality. Touch on it for me before we must.
Yeah, true. I've heard a lot of women.
I agree because I myself say that too. I do that.
I've never said it before. I didn't say that I don't need a man. I've never said that. Yeah, I've never said that.
Yeah,
but one thing that I wouldn't.
My own light bulbs. Sorry, when I start changing my own light bulbs in my sink, I used to do that.
Oh,
yeah.
I think more among friends, I have said it before, and we have agreed that hey, jump high, jump low. We can say that we don't need a man or whatever. We can say that we don't want a man, but it is very true that we need a man.
Yeah.
So to say that I've never said it, that is a lie. I'm having discussions with my girls and them, yeah. And that was something we all, no matter how, not to say macho, but how independent, we all need a man. So,
yeah.
So I totally agree with Lion on what he said, because you see it for yourself. When it is a woman play macho, independent, she all that, she don't get through. She don't get through. Like to say,
it's a turn off.
Yeah, like what's the best analogy I have to come up with? You know, from the DC comics, DC comics itself with the animation movies, Wonder Woman witnessed a woman playing helpless. the woman could have moved the desk when the pen fell, and what's the guy name? The guy who she liked. When it says he helped her move the desk and saw that, okay, she got through, and she wants to like, you could have done that yourself. The woman had to explain to her, men needs to be needed. They have that program, and it's just like what he said. So
one could disappear. What
exactly.
women understand with if they want to have a male in their life now, it's a woman, and a lot of feminist groups has used this strong vibe to deter women from most of the feminist groups are they're on girls, but the leaders of the feminist groups, so they really care if they have a man in the home. Yeah, and our women need us, and every other religion it have on this planet understand that they need it. Not one. And our ladies have adopted a doctrine that is leading them to be without us. Now, if you want to be without us, that is all fine. That's a choice. But the doctrine and the words you're speaking over and over, you're poisoning your own future.
And it will become reality.
The blacker the berry means that I need the substance in this berry sweet enough to nourish me and not spoil my stomach or spoil my appetite or spoil everything. It can't be so sweet that they destroy everything. And a woman be saying that, listen, I hear that many times. I don't know if women understand. Women that say it so much times and so often that it doesn't even hear that they say it. I don't even know. Our ladies I talking about. Our ladies I talking about. Our black ladies. I don't need no man. I don't need. That is a bad mantra to be saying over and over. That sour in your berry. Women attaching the berry to the color of the skin. But berry, the juice of the berry is the substance. And you sour in your substance by saying you don't need the man. You could imagine I saying I don't need air. Well, don't breathe now. What will happen? And that is what happening to our families, our black families. And I can't be real with it. I gotta be real before I want to preach those too, right? But that what happening to our black families. Government incentivizing women to stay without the man. Once the man not in the home, I will pay your money. And it's only our ladies taking that shape. Think about it. Them redneck and them beating the white wall on the farm. They're leaving and taking money from the government once the man not in the home. They incentivize it. That all you don't need. And we will help you. Stay away from him. I want to just touch you so little. Yeah, chica, let's do anything. Think I want to roll through my brain because that is what going on our black families, our black brothers, sisters, family, where that be regular relationship, it eroded. That is, imagine men saying I want a black woman. It's sad to me because it eroded our connectivity, and our women are fueling it. And our women binding together and fueling it, So when the black man come out of the home, that way all them delinquent on the street. Because if it had a black man, they give him some clout. Right? He ain't going outside there. But when, and as I say, when women growing sons, they spoil the sons. You need that authority in the home. Not one. You need it. Because that is what eroded our own society. Our people. We understand the talk, so anyhow, right? Chica, you have to take there. Black Canterbury.
Yes. Yeah, so Lion just, give us his sermon, as you will call it, but all those is facts. It is reality. Yeah, so as we are talking about this, tomorrow we have Ladies' Night, and this month we are truly focusing, celebrating, accomplishments of women. We want to break the bias. That's the theme this year, breaking the bias. And the topic is, a woman exceeding in the 21st century, right? So that's the topic. So are we exceeding? Are we, we're going to touch and, what can we do to become better versions of ourselves, right? We're not going to the better that we say we don't need a man, but better in that we could really impact each and every person around us in a positive way. So it was nice. It seems it's a fact that the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice is. I think we came to that conclusion. Yeah. And we'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. 11 p.m. for Abby.
11 p.m.
Yeah, Abby? Yeah, 11 p.m.
Yes.
Yes. Right, so everybody have a good night. Be safe. And we will see you tomorrow.
And before it is you go, I know you have to go in it. But here now, you know what hit you the hardest? Is when she going through them pictures and videos, is to see a girl pop up on WhatsApp showing a picture of a positive pregnancy test saying he responsible.
Don't make joke now, pregnant, you say?
Yeah.